Hi, everybody. Good evening. And we're honored to be here. And I'm excited to introduce you to Dan. He's a good friend of mine, mentor. And he drove all the way from San Diego to be with us with his beautiful wife, Claire. And Dan is a gold director elite with Karatbars. And he's also a World Leadership Council Advisory Board member for the entire company. What you're going to be seeing tonight is something very unique, and it has certainly changed my life enormously. And so I'm looking forward to hearing Dan speak. So welcome, Dan, please.
Thank you very much. When people used to ask me, my name is Dan Girolmo. When people used to ask me, hey, how's it going, Dan? I'd say, it's not quite 6 Saturdays and a Sunday yet, but I'm still working on it. Well, now I can actually say, it is 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. And that comes from some work, diligence, persistence. And I'm going to play a quick little video because in our life, we have choices. We all make those choices. Sometimes when we don't make choices, we're actually making choices. Okay? So I'm just going to play this quick little video here. It's 2 minutes long. I think that sets the tone and pace for our talk tonight. They call me the common sense knucklehead. I claim that. That gives me plausible deniability. What I am going to tell you tonight, that is just as you're seeing it on here and you're seeing what I have on a computer, there's a computer between your ears far more sophisticated than anything man's going to create. Will you go with me on that? Now, if you want that computer to do something it couldn't do before, what do you got to do to it? You got to give it a program update. It works the same way. Some of it's been working on outdated information that still work, but it's not quite working the same way as it could and probably not as efficiently. So in life, the single most difficult thing to do is pass one idea from one person to another without being misunderstood. So if I seem redundant at times, it means because I don't want to be misunderstood. How many people are married? Okay, your spouse ever misunderstood you? Right? Even though you were concretely sure about what you were trying to say, they didn't hear it the same way. I know. So, as I said, if I am repetitive at times, please bear with me because this is important information for you. Now, nothing ever changes until you reprogram that. And we have a 12-week plan, is what you're going to see. It can change everything you know about how you make decisions and based on how much time and how much money you have. If that's attractive to you, you're going to find security in that. You're going to find new opportunities, and you're going to have a new vision for life in a changing world. Here's the root of the problems you see. It's not one ideology or another. We see a lot of bantering right around. What are we talking about? The debt ceiling, right? All that stuff, that's what you hear about all the time. Look at, if you work for this, you work for man's debt money. Period. And it controls everything you do by how much you have of it and how little you have of it. All right? Recognizing the problem is the beginning of the solution. You got to tail it back to that. I can always tail it back here. It always goes back to this. Now, you're seeing, what does it say at the top? Can you read that? What does it say at the very, very top? Federal Reserve note. Now, here's the first question. Is the Federal Reserve, you're going to give it here, A, a part of the executive branch, B, a part of the legislative branch, C, part of the Treasury, or D, none of the above? Man, I love it when I come to an audience that's got, they understand that already, right? So you realize that it's not in their best interest to do anything but create debt, correct? All right. Now, remember this. Whatever happens to the dollar happens to everything you have kept in dollars. Everything. Did you know you can no longer outwork an exponential inflation with a linear income? You could before, when inflation was low and the dollar was tacked to gold. This right here is a gold certificate, a $100 gold certificate from 1928. It was worth 150 grams of gold. Even by 1928, it started in 1913, by 1928 it lost 20% of its buying power. If it was frozen in time, it would have, at 20% loss, it would still have the buying power of $5,550. That'd be a $5,550 bill. How much is that worth? Not much. All right, let me tell you right. This is worth 1.5 grams of gold. Here was World War I and World War II. Okay? Here was the Korean War, the Cold War, the Vietnam War. Then you had Desert Storm. You had the War on Terror. You had the Afghan War. Then you had the Iraq War. That's all that's left of the buying power of that dollar. Guess what? It's not coming back. And no matter what you hear, I may be a knucklehead, but I got some pretty good math. Okay? Now, this is a recap, just a slide. See, right now, you are in a package that looks like that. Right now. Everybody you know, you're probably working in it, you're living in it, and you're basing decisions on a structure that looks like that. What does that look like? You know this is a structure of the government. This is a structure of the corporations. This is a structure of the unions. This is a structure of the schools. This is a structure of your own home. Okay? It's a structure of strength. But here, if you got to work in it for man's debt money, the people that have this, when you work in it, they don't want you going farther. They want to be able to do this. They want to be able to use this as a vessel so that they can control what you use. Okay? Now, prior to 1971, when we got decoupled from gold, it only took one person working in a family to do the three things a job was supposed to do. The job was nothing but a tool to meet the needs of the economy, right? What are the three things a job was supposed to do? Number one, it was supposed to pay the taxes the government said you were supposed to pay. Number two, it was supposed to give you enough money to live on. And number three, it was supposed to give you enough money that you didn't have to live on, so when you couldn't work anymore, you had the power of compounding behind that money so you had something to live on. How's that working for you today? Okay, right. Now, when we got decoupled from gold, that was the death dagger of the old advice from 2 generations ago. For you to work in a structure and pay whatever package they had, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, $100,000 for an education, get a piece of paper said that you can go make more money in a linear income. Okay? That's where you got that advice, and they loved you. They wanted you to have a better life. It wasn't for you to necessarily take another profession as much as it was that they knew that you were going to have to work harder or get paid more to have it because inflation was creeping up. That's where that advice came from. But then when we got decoupled from gold, it became a 2-household income. Mothers weren't home to work. Mothers weren't home to take care of their kids. They were out working. Okay? Now, if you see what's happened here, fast food workers, August 29th, want $15 an hour. Think about that for a minute. Where's this all going? And you have no problem participating in this life structure, right? This is their package. Why? Because you go down the street and say, see, they're all doing it. Must be right. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have the new program to work with. This is the trap. 2 generations ago, the word saving used to mean storing generational wealth, money that was backed by gold. You used to live off your savings, remember? Nobody does that anymore. Then the media programmed your brain to say savings meant spending at a discount, affording your lifestyle, and we turned into complete debt from that point on. This is a typical example. The reason you were here, this is a Karatbar. That is 1 gram of 24 karat transaction-friendly weights inside a certificate of authenticity here, sealed so you can tell if somebody's tampered with it. It's unique. This right here, a gram of gold, 40 years ago when we were still backed by gold on the standard, 40 years ago a gram of gold would have bought you 5 loaves, and a dollar bill would have bought you 4 loaves. Not too much inflation, right? After 40 years of being off the discipline of printing money by how much gold you had in the vault, a gram of gold will buy you 20 loaves, and a dollar will buy you half a loaf. That, folks, is the difference between gold money and paper money. And that is the reason somebody thought enough of you to bring you here tonight. So the real question is, if I made sense to you here, the real question is, how do you get the most of the best quality of gold for the least amount of time, effort, and personal finances? Anybody want to know how that? That's the reason somebody brought you here, so that you can have a new program update. There's only 4 ways you're going to get gold. You can inherit it. How many people in here are going to inherit it? All right, same as most that I see, okay? Number 2, you can extract it. Mining and panning, very popular. Some countries survive by panning for gold every day, enough to eat. Sorry, but she knows me. I can't even sit cross-legged on the ground. Man, like I need yoga bad, okay? So that was out. Now, you can buy it out of your own pocket. Isn't it the most popular way? Isn't that what people think already? Right, you buy it out of your own pocket, so you're always focused on price, margin, buy, sell, blah, 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 because your only leverage is to try and buy it the cheapest, because you're always somebody else's customer in that arena, correct? Now, the reason we brought you here is to show you option number 4. And that is to set up a Karatbars dual system, do our 12-week plan. This is our 12-week plan package. And acquire the gold from the system, not from your pocket. And you reverse the tide there, and you can acquire far more gold than you will ever buy out of your own pocket by utilizing this system. Okay? Now, in these times we're in today, you are going to need both cash flow and you are going to need gold money. And I'm going to explain that very shortly here. And our system gives you the best of both worlds, harnessing the 3 things you're going to have to accomplish. You're going to have to accomplish these 3 things no matter what you do. Number 1, taxes. Government spending $3 to find out what they want to do with 1. Doesn't take rocket science to figure out where that's going. Number 2, inflation. Can't outwork it anymore. Number 3, residual income. Without it, you're not going to retire at any age. So how do you take care of that in these times? Here is programming Number 2, how do you save money? You make sure it's not made out of paper. I'm going to come back to that and see if you're paying attention. Okay? This is who's going to pay you. Mr. Harold Seitz, founder, CEO, and visionary, he created a global infrastructure umbrella. You don't have to pay for. 4 years in development. Didn't happen overnight. Nobody's going to shortchange that process either. Okay? He only deals with one specific kind of gold, currency grade gold. We are now in 87 countries and deliver in 75. And his structure here allows you to create an income globally. Forget what's happening in your local arena. It doesn't matter if you've got dirt floors, wood floors, or marble floors. No matter where you are, no matter what age you're at, no matter what you're at level of education, if you have desire, a dream, and determination to succeed, this is the simplest way to solve all of those things. And actually, it's primarily just a change in the way you do your banking. Okay, now, who's Karatbars? Debt-free company, headquartered in Stuttgart, Germany, privately held, and is regulated by strict German laws. Okay? Germany is the second largest holder of gold in the world. Number 2, they are the toughest country in the European Union to do business in. And we have had exceeded their standards of doing business in Germany for 4 years. Now, we also opened up a support and logistics office in Wall Street, 14 Wall Street. It will be fully operational at the end of this year, and it will be for support and logistics only. Key strategic partners. If you're going to do this, don't you want to know who's in the umbrella? Key strategic partners, Prosegur. How many people have even heard of that before? Correct. They're the 3rd largest cybersecurity and digital logistics company in the world. 150,000 professionals worldwide. They're a member of the World Gold Council. And Harold brokered a deal. For all Karatbars customers and affiliates, they get to option to vault their gold for free there. This isn't like a bank, deposit box. This is a private vault where dignitaries around the world store many different things. Okay? And so if you want it there, it's included with every purchase if you want to vault it there. Temporarily, permanently, whatever you want to do. Or you get it delivered to your hands by Federal Express. We put it into a queue, gets made, delivered to you there. G4S, largest armored delivery service in the world. You see them in every international airport. They provide the security for the World Olympics. They deliver all of our orders over 10,000 euros. What is it that we produce? This, folks, is man's debt money. This is God's money. Doesn't rot. Doesn't need to be fed, fertilizer, nothing. It's divisible. It's lasted for 6,000 years. Doesn't rust. And this is the only kind of gold, currency grade gold. I didn't know there's tons of different kinds of gold. Currency grade, 999.9 in purity, London Good Delivery List, stamped by an LBMA certified refinery. It's the only kind of gold that's recognized by all banks and governments as good for settlement of debt. That's the reason we don't do coins. It's the reason we don't do silver. This is portable, and it's recognized worldwide. And here's programming number 3. Karatbars are gold as money and inflation insurance. We are not gold as a commodity or for speculative thinking. That's not what we're about. Okay? And that's why we're not in the bake sale of gold sellers out there. That one fact right there changes all perceptions if you focus on that. And what is currency grade gold? It's the proposed future 2013. Where did I get this chart? FDIC. Who insures the paper money in your banks? Do you realize this is the exclusive world's reserve currency until it isn't anymore? Okay? It's got a shelf life, and I'm talking about math, not opinion. And it's going to prop up everything. They can't, let me tell you right now, I'm common sense. No matter whose paper money is, no government's going to tell you they're in big trouble. It'll always be somebody else telling you, right? Right? Because this is what they use to back up everything that they do. But the breadcrumbs, who remembers Hansel and Gretel? Breadcrumbs leading you through the forest. All the breadcrumbs are there if you, what did I say before? Recognize what's going on. So if it's good enough for banks and governments, isn't it good enough for your own money? Remember this? How do you save money? Make sure it's not made out of paper. I love that. Okay, now, here's our 12-week package. Here's their 12-week package. You're going to spend 2, 4, 8 years in school, $2, $10, $20, $50, $100,000 or more. You're not going to have any problem doing that, even taking out loans to do it. So you come out and work, right? Well, guess what? You never get paid for what you know. You only get paid for what you do with what you know. How many people know people with college educations that can't find work? Right? All right, now, and if that system was working so good, how come there's 47 million people on food stamps? Right? Get the picture? Now, here's our 12-week package. It's not like this. It's this. You can keep doing this and add this on it. Everybody starts here. Nobody shortcuts it. And you can decide how much money you want to make. This system, they tell you how much you're going to make until they replace you. Anybody seen downsizing? Anybody seen companies go belly up and absorb pensions? Okay? This is not the loyalty that used to be. This one, you decide. You'd get to choose how much money you want to pay yourself. In this system here, we're going to take 30 years of work, and we're going to do those 3 things that I told you. We're going to push them right together in 12 weeks. Is it going to be easy? No, but it can be very simple. Okay? And so the whole point of this, what would you give your A-game effort to? What would you give your A-game effort to? You give your A-game effort to this, and you're going to get an A-game income. You want to be able to have 6 Saturdays and a Sunday, you can do it. And if you think this is good for you, do you think out there in the world that somebody might want to know of a 12-week plan to a minimum of $4,500 a week in passive income and setting up a system to acquire far more gold than they would ever buy out of their own pocket? Do you think there's anybody that want to know that? Yes. Anybody? So the key is this. All you got to do, number 1, is get over your own bridge of belief in what we have. And number 2, find 2 people that want more than what they got, have a deep desire to go after it, and are not going to fall on the first speed bump that they get. This is a learning curve just like anything else you have. And here's our disclaimer. Income projections are shown in U.S. dollars. The actual plan uses mathematical examples that are dependent on following the plan as described. But we can't guarantee your effort because we can't guarantee your income because we can't guarantee you're going to give us your A-game effort and the 2 people that you find in this. Follow me? That's the good part. Because what you're going to see here is going to be built by somebody making somebody else doing something. It's built on the fact that you cannot stop somebody from doing this that knows exactly why they're doing it and follow through. So you're going to have to do a little sifting. This is what we want you to do. We want you to enroll an account. We want you to acquire a package. We want you to move $65 of paper money. Is the paper money going to be more valuable tomorrow than it is today? No. So how do you save money? Make sure it's not made out of paper. Gold, I'll take that one. Okay? And you're going to pay yourself along the way. And the plan works if you team up with 2 people that will do what you do. The best part, the first part, you don't need anybody else's permission to do it. You can do it all on your own. Find 2 other people that value their opinion in this whole world. And if that was the hardest thing you had to do is find 2 that would do that, what's the hardest thing you've done? Don't ever ask a brand new mother about the hardest thing they've done. Especially if you're a guy. Man, that's like, you're asking for it. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing. Everybody's going to do the same thing. We're going to get paid every Friday morning. And this is what will pay you to do it. It's a logical 12-week plan. It has a logical relationship with every single economy on the earth. I don't care what economy it is. They're all based on the principles. And if you commit to save some money from destruction and turn it into some gold money and find 2 people that do this, then this can be yours. $15,000 to $136,000 a month. And the determining factor on this is not the price of gold. It is the weight of gold money that moves through your referrals. 4 pillars of truth. They're timeless. They work in any situation, and you know it when you see it. There is no economy without the movement of money. There isn't any economy in your home unless there's a movement of money, right? Okay, now, when people get paid and people spend money, money moves. When people save and invest money or that use ATM machines, money moves. The key is this. We're going to show you how to move money properly. The second principle is velocity. It's not just the movement of money. It's how fast the movement of money goes. Okay? Just as you see two different bodies of water. One is moving at extreme velocity. Our 12-week plan takes a lifetime of work, pushes it into 12 weeks with velocity on the movement of money, and that's going to create the velocity, frequency of the commissions that you're paid. It's a totally logical application. Number 3, you have to move money toward yourself. Why is it that 95% of the population only has 5% of the wealth? Why? Why is that? 95% of the population is an employee or they're self-employed, which means they bought themselves a job. When they work, they eat. When they don't work, they don't eat. And when they don't work and they can't eat, where do they go for help? The government. Where does the government get the money? From taxes. And they print it until they can't print it anymore. Do you understand that? What do you think is going to happen when they can't print anymore? Because nobody wants the debt. Who wants it? What are going to happen then? We're working on a solution here. Now, when they get money moved toward them, what do? They move it away from them because they've been programmed by the media. They move it away on doodads that make them feel good and look good, right? Isn't it truth? It is. And then they can't figure out, how do they extend that? Credit card. That's money you haven't earned yet, right? The average Californian's got 9. Okay? There you go, putting America to work again. Okay? Now, why is it that 5% of the population have 95% of the wealth? One word, system. Save yourself some time, effort, and money. 5% of the population are business owners, and they use a system, like a franchise model. And then they employ who? The other 95% to create residual income, time, and freedom. Investors use money and a system to create residual income, time, and freedom. What we're going to show you here is how to be if you're part of the 95%, how to move you in 12 weeks right over to that whole side. The 5% who have a lot more. But it's going to take your A-game effort. And you'll hear me say that over and over again. But what would you give your A-game effort to? And the work isn't hard. The hardest work is this. Changing and updating the program between yours. That's it. Fourth pillar of truth. You have to pay yourself first. You got to pay yourself before you pay your bills. Otherwise, who's the most important? Your bills or you? Your family? Right? You know what my background is? I was a repossessor for 27 years. Who knows what a repo man is? Do you know I didn't want to do that? Dennis and I actually went to college together in the same place in Colorado. Okay? At the same time, we were both there, but we didn't know each other. Here's the key. He finished, I didn't. And so when I came out here to go to San Diego State University, finish my degree later, I was looking through the newspaper, and I wanted to get residency. So I said, what can you do? What can you do? Right? Isn't that what people did? That's how they found jobs, was in newspapers, right? Okay? How many people really find that many jobs in newspapers? Not that many. Now, so I applied to be a repo driver. Man, was that an enlightening experience. Okay? So that's another story, but here's what we found. I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that, but I had a desire to be free and have a good life. So while I was looking for a job to get residency so I can get my college education for free, I was seeing what the engineers were making at that time. I was seeing what they were making as master engineers. The key to the program was this. I saw somebody doing something I didn't want to do. I even told them that next day, the first night I went out, Can't see myself doing it. It's not my cup of tea. And he held up a check like this and he said, can you do it for that? I said, you get paid once a month? He goes, nope, I get paid once a week. And didn't take rocket science to do some addition. So that's what we did. And I learned that certain motivators will get you over hurdles once you get over the bridge of belief. Here's the other key right here. We saw people broke at $2,000 a month and $80,000 a month. That's $1 million a year. How can you be broke at $1 million a year? It's easy when you spend more than you keep. Right? Because what did the media do? Program you to spend, 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 and afford. Not own. Just that. So how do you save money?
Make sure it's not in paper.
All of the above. Okay, number two, you got to position yourself. Isn't that what you're taught? Isn't that reason we go to school to get an education? You're positioning yourself to make more money with a linear income, right? It's not exponential, it's linear. You work, you eat. You don't work, you don't eat. Okay? And so just as this, if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking at this for the first time, you are looking at the single largest market transfer ever in world history. These are fiat paper monies. It's just some of them. They're all backed by nothing but a politician's or government's promise it's good to pay the taxes. That's it. If it isn't good to pay the taxes, guess what? You'll never see a government issue it. Okay? Now, how much of this is out there? 1.4 quadrillion. We're only talking about 16 trillion right now. That's $1,400 trillion of this paper money out there. I'm going to give you a little lesson right here. All economies in the planet have three components. One is demand. That's us. We want stuff. Number two is supply. That's merchants, manufacturers, and service providers. They want to sell us stuff. Three is the stuff we use in between. Medium of exchange. Let me ask you a question. This is common sense stuff. Are consumers happy today? No. Thank you. Are merchants, manufacturers, and service providers really happy today? No. Is the money happy today? Well, here it is. When all three components of any economic system run happy, that system will change. You are going to look at the largest market shift transfer ever in world history as fiat paper money moves to gold, silver, and oil-backed money and electronic money. You want a piece of that? Let me tell you what. Karatbars, remember what I said? Karatbars are gold is money and inflation insurance, not gold as commodity. If Karatbars obtains 1/3 of 1% of that market transfer, 1/3 of 1%, it will be bigger than all the markets of health, wellness, weight loss, nutrition, water, food, juice, coffee, energy drinks, shopping portals, gifting programs, cars, shoes, clothes, cosmetics, jewelry, and advertising all combined. Wow. If you're an entrepreneur, you're never going to find a bigger market, ever. You want a piece of that? You don't even have to pay for the infrastructure. The only thing you got to do is what you've always done. Just tell somebody about something you like or you don't like, and you do that for no money anyway. Why don't you get paid for it? In these times we're in, that's your positioning. Getting back with the person that brought you here and opening an account puts you in a position to capitalize on that. Third, I'm a common sense knucklehead. Our Karatbars MasterCard, okay? You know, I don't have to look too far. I knocked on 300,000 doors asking questions when I was a repo man. I heard every story in the book, even good ones, even been bamboozled. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't seen anything but legitimate businesses have these kind of cards. Okay, it just doesn't happen. Not only that, if it were bad, it'd be out there already, and the German government would be shutting us down, which is not. We exceed every bit of their demands or their expectations. Now, here's what Karatbars does. This is your correct way to move paper money. This is your correct way to save money and create a generational wealth account. This here, how many bills do you have coming in? They need paper money, right? This is your independent, flexible tool worldwide. I can put this in an ATM machine in Italy and get out lira. I can put it in Tokyo and get out yen. I can put it in Mexico and get out papers. Doesn't matter. Pesos, yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. This right here Gives you the flexibility and portability of transaction-friendly weights of gold, and you'll understand the significance of that. Because in the future here, the 4th year structure of the company has always been this. You're going to start to see this sometime in 2014 on the cash registers and the windows of merchants. We accept Karatbars gold as exchange for goods and services. You're looking at a total global payment system, and you may even see something like this next to the cash registers of vendors. Remember this. Why is Karatbars not in the bake sale of gold sellers? Because they're creating an honest money system. If it can be bought in this, or it can be bought in this, it could be bought in fractions of a gram of verifiable transaction-friendly weights of gold. The only money that's recognized worldwide. That's the reason we don't do anything else. You are looking at the advent of a new era of economic understanding, era of an honest money system, where again, your labor, as you exchange it, could be preserved. Unlike when you work for this, when you got paid, your labor was worth, it was exchanged for less money, and the more money they print, the less that labor is preserved. You can exchange it now. It's a beautiful plan. Here's an example. The math, the multiply compression of time and effort. Which would you rather have a penny doubled every day for 31 days or $1 million? Doubled every day. You're smart, man. You guys, I tell you what, I love going to an informed crowd. Because you know, if you got $1 million, how many lottery winners are broke? You know what the first thing you do, even though you knew that? First thing you do, you go and spend it on stuff. We know we would. Right? We know you would. You go a little crazy at first, right? But a penny doubled every day, you'd be right to choose $1 million by the 27th day. You'd be wrong to choose it if you last 4 more days. It's called delayed gratification in a vision. Follow me? 10 times the money. Now, why am I even bringing that up? Here's the reason why. Your programming from this structure that you work in is you're getting paid right here. You have to understand this is a 12-week plan. It's not a 2-week. It's not a 3-week or a 4-week or a 5-week or a 6-week. It's not even a 10, 11-week. It's a 12-week plan. There's a power in the number of 12. And your 12 weeks is going to look different than everybody else's 12 weeks. So don't compare it. But if you do this 12-week plan and find 2 people who get this, you won't be able to stop them from telling other people. I'm telling you. Does that mean that everybody's going to get this? No. I can show this to 2 people, 1 person gets it, and the other person doesn't get it. Now, you have a choice. You can get them in a 40-hour seminar so that they understand what they're doing, or you can be smart and just show them where some information is to get educated. And number 2, go find 2 people that go like this. I don't try and hatch anybody like an egg. Okay? All right, now, here's the system. This is the business plan. Understand, investors, if you're talking to an investor type, this is not a speculative investment. This is a business plan. Okay? It's a business plan. 5 things entrepreneurs look for. Market size. How do you open up outlets to capture the market? What's the time and cost to open outlets to capture the market? When do I get a return of capital? The amount of money it took me to participate is returned to me, then I have 0 risk exposure, 100% cash flow positive, and spinning off residual income. That's what they want. And number 5, what's my ROI? What's my return on investment of time and money, capital, if I'm going to do this? In this system you're seeing here is residual override on reoccurring savings plans deposit globally. Forget about what you're doing here. This is like raising rabbits. You get going on it. So step number 1, enroll and create a free Karatbar account. How much does it cost? Nothing. Thank you. And when you do that, do you position yourself in this? You get to choose what you do with it. But getting started, get back with the person who brought you here. There's absolutely no logical reason not to get enrolled. None. 0. Okay? Now, no cost to enroll, no maintenance fees, self-managed, self-protected website, no website fees, no financial obligations whatsoever. You use it you want, and if all you want to do is to plant another financial flag in another area of the world that's in your reach, but it's just out of the reach of all those that think your money is their money, then you have a gem here, okay? And that is going to be highly attractive to many people, highly attractive. Okay, number 2, immediately acquire package. What are you doing? You're moving money. Remember the 4 principles? You're positioning yourself with a system. Remember what the 5% of 95% of the wealth have? System. Positioning yourself and moving money. There, you get to choose your paycheck. It doesn't matter which package you choose as much as you choose one of them and open the key to the vault. Real important. Okay? Guess what? You get to choose how much money you pay yourself. You get to choose, and you can give yourself a pay raise at any time. I love that. This one, they tell you how much you're going to make till they replace you. This one, you get to choose, and you don't have to stop this until you got this squared away. And once you start making enough money, let me tell you right now, you're inspired. I mean, some of you tonight, after you see this, you're going to not be able to sleep all night. You're going to wake up thinking about it. Number 3, you get to choose, well, number 2, entry level or CEO pay. Right? Now, number 3, we're going to take $65 a week of paper money from your personal finances, and we're going to turn it into gold money. And we're going to put it in our gold money piggy bank. Do you realize you still have both monies? You don't pass this through your kidneys, wear it, smoke it. None of that. Okay? None of that. All right? And you know what? I've never seen anybody feel bad about having a whole bunch of this on the shelf. The difference is what you're left with. This is an asset on your balance sheet at the worst case scenario. You can't get hurt in it. Now, that means you're going to commit 12 grams over 12 weeks. 1 gram per week, that's $785 approximate commitment of your personal finances. Okay? That's what it takes to do. I don't shortcut it. If you have a hard time doing $65 a week, you have a financial emergency on your hand, you really need to get busy with this. Okay? Then, week number 1, you need to find 2 people that this makes sense to. We do webcasts 2 times a day, every single day, on top of live meetings. There is no shortage of being able to find an interested party and get them to a webcast, see if you're looking along the same lines or not. If you are, great. If you're not, no big deal. Okay? And move it down the field. You know why? Because they can do that. They don't have to know anything. Just need to get them to see the webcast. And what are you doing with then? The $65 a week, you're moving money with velocity. Remember the pillars of truth? And then finding 2 is the penny doubled every day. It is multiplying the movement and velocity. It's a brilliant plan because it harnesses all the truths about the economies. And this is a typical example. Let's just say that this is the entry level. Okay? Let's just say that you got back with the person that brought you here, you registered a free account, you bought a digital bronze package, $135, and then you uploaded a couple documents to secure your account, your identity, establish and protect it, so nobody else can try and imposter you. And then you bought 1 gram of gold. Then in week number 1, you found 2 people that did the same thing. You'd make $13. Aren't you excited that you came here to find out how to make 13 bucks? It's probably, I'm going to tell you right now, you know what's funny about that? For some people, that's more money than they made on their checking account interest. Let's put it in perspective. Okay? Now, week number 2, what'd you do? You took you remembered your commitment. $65 of paper money, personal money, you turned into gold money, put it in gold money piggy bank, you made nothing. Week number 3, you took $65 paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in gold money piggy bank, you made nothing. Now you came here, for 3 weeks you made 13 bucks. You cannot evaluate your program, 12-week program, in any number of weeks until you get to the end, because your 12 weeks are going to look different than everybody else's. Week number 4. Perfect world. Everybody a bronze. Everybody only finds 2 in a week, and everybody only exchanges 1 gram. Week number 4, $65 of paper money, turned into gold money piggy bank, you made $26. Week number 5, took $65 of paper money, turned into gold money, put in gold money piggy bank, made $39. Week number 6, here he comes. Here it comes. Take $65 of paper money, which isn't getting more valuable tomorrow than it is today. You're turning it into gold money, which is preserving your labor and your hard work and putting it in your gold money piggy bank. And now from your system, you made $65. Here's the question. If you make at least as much commissions from your system as it takes you to acquire your own gold, how much your own gold costs you? Can you buy it cheaper anywhere else? Do you understand why it's a totally logical question for somebody to ask you how much does your gold cost you? Because they're thinking of gold as a commodity and they're not thinking about a system that will reward you for your behavior. Well, Dan, that's not true. That's like money from a job. You're right. Week 1. But what'd you do week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? You didn't. You did it before. Unlike your job, when you go to work, you work Monday through Friday, you get paid. Monday, you got to start it all over again. How long you been doing that? How come you're not retired? How come you're not financially independent? Because you got to keep recreating. Ours, you keep getting paid for what you did week 1. You don't even have to give up this to get that. Just add it in. Okay? And so I'm firm in my commitment to try and explain this and try and help you understand it, because some people take a little more than others. Now, here it gets good. Week number 7, you still have 6 more grams to acquire, right? Now you're going to take your system card, and you're going to take it off your system card. Your personal finances, whatever you did before, you can use them how you used to before, because the gold isn't being acquired from your personal finances. It's being acquired from the system. And you're going to take $65 off the system card, turn it into gold money, put it in gold money piggy bank, you made $143. How much did it cost you to participate in that? Do you realize in an entrepreneur's perspective, you have a return of capital? Now you have a complete system that spins off residual income, zero risk exposure. You see the beautiful part about this as it does? Week number 8, 286. Week number 9, 546. Week number 10, $65 again off your system card, turn into gold money, put in gold money piggy bank, made $1,131. That's $54,000 a year on top of what you're doing. For doing what? Saving the money you work for. I think anybody in this day and age might want to know how to do that. And don't try and bargain with it. You try and bargain with it, the system, you're just going to wait. I'm telling you, your results, you're just going to wait. Okay? Until you say, why am I bargaining with it? Just do it. Follow the plan as described. Now, week number 11, took $65 paper money off your system card, turned to gold money, put in gold money piggy bank, $2,223. It's $110,000 a year on top of what you're doing. How many people are making $110,000 a year right now? Probably some of you in here are making it. Yep. Okay, but this is on top of what you're doing. And I don't care if if you got a shovel in your hand or stethoscope around your neck. What difference does it make? Doesn't. Anybody can find $65. A guy with a lunch bucket can find $65. Okay? It's depending on whether he sees it and is willing to commit to it. Week number 12, $4,485. I don't even care what you do after week 12. 12 weeks of your life. You don't want to acquire any more gold? Good. Because the system isn't dependent on all you. This isn't dependent on who you think you are and what you think you can do. This system is built from the hearts of champions. You people, you can't stop from doing this. In this day and age, with all the chaos and nonsense we're seeing all the way around, things that don't make sense, this has validity, and you can't get hurt in it. Now, you're also going to get some, by buying one of our business marketing packages, our life package, you're going to get a few of these. 3% preferred pricing card, so you can buy your gold at 3% better price. And you're going to get your Give Me a Pay Raise card. €100 discount card, good for the VIP program. Now, silver package. Remember I showed you the different ones? You know what you should do? You should pick the best package you can possibly afford and stretch to get, period, right off the bat. So you don't leave a bunch of money on the table. Silver package level, $350, pays you 4 times what a bronze does. And if you were the only silver and everybody else was just a bronze, and they only found 2 people just like you did, and they only acquired 1 gram, by the time you get down to your 4th month, 4th week, 1 month, what did you do? What's the 14th today? What did you do September 14th? Anybody even remember? 1 month ago, 4 weeks ago, of doing that, You can take your personal finances, you'll start acquiring it from your system card. Follow me? By the time you get down to the 12th week, that's $17,250 a week. Now let me ask you a question. Is your boss making $17,250 a week? Maybe he needs to see this. Okay? Making my point? Gold package level, 6 times what a bronze does, about $800. Still only 4 weeks to use your personal finances if everybody else was a bronze in a perfect world. And by the time you get down to the 12th week, that's $25,000 a week. It's $100,000 a month. That is 4 times, that's 3 times the average earning of a family in America in a month. It's almost what they earn a year in a week. With that, hey, if some of you got spouses that are chewing your ear off, you know what? You want to give them an attitude change? You put $100,000 in their checking account. Believe me, they will have an attitude change. All right? And you know what? Have some fun with what you do. I love doing this. I honestly do. Now, VIP package level, top of the food chain. And if you're an entrepreneur, just go straight, and you have the resources, go straight to VIP. Why? Because it only takes you enrolling 4 VIPs to get all the return of capital it took you to participate as a VIP. Then you're spinning off 100% cash flow positive, the maximum amount in the compensation structure. And understand, Karatbars is an e-commerce company. This is a really important part. They don't do a bunch of training. Why? Neither does Amazon.com. And for us to develop our system in the future, guess what? We have to get the money foundation in first. You know what? Harold Seitz is brilliant. He knows that if people see these, they're going to go, gosh, those are beautiful. And he knows human nature. He says, you know, if they have them in their hands, somebody's going to figure out what to do with them. That's going to start everything up here. Now, by the time you get down 4 weeks, you don't use your personal finances down any past here, and then by the time you get down to the 12th week, $34,000 plus a week. Do you know how much? That's $136,000 a month. Would that change? What would that do for yourself? Now, get this. How many people in here are doing the 12-week plan? Is there anybody in here doing it? Okay. Now, how many people found 2 people in 1 week? Nice. Does anybody find more than 2 people? Anybody find 5 people? Anybody find 10 people? Yeah, okay. Anybody find 20 people? Anybody find 50 people? Yeah. Anybody find 100 people? Anybody find more than 100 people? You are ruining all the numbers, man. Okay, now, how many people have a different package other than bronze? Look at all the hands. You realize you're ruining all the numbers for the people that think, I don't know if I can do this thing. This thing ain't dependent on who you are and what you think you can do. This is all about positioning yourself in front of the largest market transfer in world history in a time, in an era whose time has come with only real gold money, protecting yourself against all the bad decisions made by bankers, politicians, and governments, even with good intentions. And you insulate yourself from that, and you will be smiling, because you will have done something that will carry for generations. This is a no-brainer. Honestly. That's how they look across the board. As you or everybody else in the organization is just a bronze, and you chose a different package. And you can upgrade it any time. You start making that money from that point on. The key is this: duplication. Duplication, not sales. Duplication. Everybody needs to know about Karatbars. Like I said, I don't care if you got a shovel in your hand or a stethoscope around your neck. Let me tell you right now, if you were invited here for the first time to look at this, do you know what a thin line it is to you even seeing this? You need to thank the person that brought you here, because guess what? We don't advertise. Where's the money come from, Dan? Number one, we don't advertise. The only way you're going to find out about this is if somebody tells you about it. The rest of all that brokers on TV, I'm common sense. Where do you think they get that money? Right? Making my point. Number two, we take big bars, turn them into little bars. And when we sell the little bars, 362 days a year is the best price you can find for our asset class out there. I think that's great. Number 3, our business marketing package have what called intrinsic shared profit margin, which means you share in the profits from that and redistribute it back by performance. Ain't hard. It's an amazing program. And let me tell you right now, the thin line, if 10,000 new people found out about Karatbars every single day for 25 years, it would only be 1% of the population that ever found out about it. So thank the person that brought you here, the least thing. And you know what? If you don't said this is not for me, give them 2 people you know who'd like to have a better quality of life and let them have an opportunity to say and see this and say yes or no. Because only the intersections that you have might be the only way they ever find out. Karatbars stands for everything sound, solid, and truthful about money. Are you coming with us? You're going to waste more time and paper money. We are not a speculative investment or program for traders. This is in summary, folks. We are the future of exchange value gold money. Spendable gold, and yes, you will pay sales taxes. We are good for governments. I'm not going to go into that. If businesses can't conduct money, where do they go? What happens to them? They can't conduct transactions in business. What happens to them? They close down. Then where do they go to get help? Government. Where does the government get the money? They can't get money from them anymore. We are the pressure release valve when this money changes. Governments like us because you're still going to get their sales tax on the transactions. Now, I think this is appropriate. Here, I thought this was a cute cartoon. Today, both Republicans and Democrats moves closer to raising the debt ceiling to remedies America's financial predicament. In other news, blood alcohol levels will be raised to solve drunk driving. Here's the key. Why, if you see the whole part about this is programming by the media. Why are we even having a thing called a debt ceiling? It doesn't matter what your political views are. Think about money. Money. There's 3 stages we're going to see this. I'm going to go through this really quick. We're in stage number 1. Recognize it. Do not spend Karatbars. This isn't going to take off till stage 2. Stage 1 right now, you'd never spend an appreciating or preserving asset when you can spend a depreciating asset, right? It's common sense. Okay, now stage 2, we are building up to an event. I don't know what it's going to look like. It's happening in other countries before it hits ours, right? We'll probably lose world reserve status, okay? And there's going to be a system reset for this. This is the inevitable. There's going to be some type of reset in the paper money. And believe me, wait till you see the media then with all the blaming to keep you focused on whatever they're going to come up with. Okay? Stage 3, financial prosperity for those that were prepared and paid attention, recognized it and took action. We have the best plan out there for across the planet. I don't care what country it's in. And this is where Karatbars is going to become a household name. Okay? Here's the programming also. If you stay in this, you will buy less stuff in the future. Period. If you change into some of this, you will buy more. It isn't harder than that. I could have probably saved you 35 minutes of time doing that by just telling you that. And so politicians need a reality check across the board for 40 years. This is, you want to lose weight, what's the first thing you got to do? Step on a scale, right? How else are you going to tell if you're gaining or losing, right? Correct? Yes? Yes. Okay, thank you. Here's where we're at. $14.4 billion of new debt on the interest of the national debt. Not the debt, just the interest on the debt. And the unfunded liabilities, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, unemployment, every single day. And 10,000 new retirees going onto that system every day that weren't there yesterday. And it doesn't even include a single dollar for any government office, a government employee, a government pension, not one single dollar for the military. That's where you're at. So here's the question. Would you rather have your savings account holding your retirement backed by government insurance or real gold? See, if you tax the top 1% of all corporations, foreign and domestic, 100% of their revenues, it'll only fund the government for 58 days. If you tax the top 2%, 100% of the revenues, they worked all year, didn't get to keep anything. It only fund the government for another 20 hours. Get the picture? Karatbars is your lifeboat against all the bad decisions made by politicians, bankers, and governments, even with good intentions. Gold is the friend of your freedom. This is where we're at. By the way, we just came out with a brand new card. It's called a prepper card. That's a whole industry. I know, I didn't hear about it either before. People that are prepared and are wise to what's going on. Yeah, it's called a prepper card. Preparedness. Now we have one. Here's some cards. We have one. We have a 2.5 gram card. And we have a 5 gram card. That's the only sizes we have. Okay? It has a little bit of value for each person, however they want it. But our system, oh, by the way, is anybody here, remember how we were asking what people did? Is anybody here exchange any of their commissions for more gold in the system? Do you realize what a good deal you get when you do that? Because you and I buy our gold all at the same price. I don't get it any cheaper than you. It's the back end that you get paid on. Wow, is it like, wow. Okay, so anyways, in order to fix this, guess what? They got no approved budget. They borrow every dollar to operate. And the only thing that can be done, first, Washington must admit the problem. Are they admitting it? And even if they admit it, they got to be able to explain it to everybody. Follow me? Okay? And we must face the pain of fixing it. Until then, it's common sense. Common sense, prepare. Okay? Recognize and protect yourself. And the economy that matters the most is the one in your own home. Gold preserves, I'm almost done. Gold preserves buying power. If the newspapers today said you have 3 days to turn in your cash that you have for new cash, worth a fraction of what it will buy now, how much cash in your pocket would you be exchanging into gold money to preserve what you have? How fast would you do that if you didn't lose the buying power in that? Hugo Chavez, typical example. If you were in Venezuela, how many people know about this? February 8th. You don't know about that because you know why? Because they don't tell you here. You got to look outside to get the news. February 8th, Hugo Chavez, before he passed away, said the Bolivar. This is an oil exporting country. Okay? Said the Bolivar in 3 days is going to be worth 50% less, which means all your savings in Bolivar, it's like they took half of it away. And then when you went to the store, everything cost you 50% more. He did it on a Friday night. Saturday was banks were closed. Sunday the banks were closed, and Monday was a bank holiday. Done. Okay? How would you feel? They're not going to warn. Pensions, Poland. How many people know about Poland? You don't know about that? What, 3 weeks ago? They seized the private pension funds. They took hard assets. Why? Poland's gross domestic product, what they produce in the country, was here. Their debt was here. They can't borrow any more money. So they took the bonds that were printed out of what? Thin air, paper. And they swapped it. They swapped it. They said, here, we're just going to swap equities. You swap government equities with your private pension fund equities. Caused a gap. Now what could they do? Borrow more money. Guess where they're going to be? Right back where they started, only the citizens had no chance to remember this. Remember who your partner is and what they have the opportunity to do if it's the government. Okay, now, Cyprus, what did they do? They went into your bank accounts, said 20%. Remember that? All these things, this is all the Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs. Now, where do you think they're going to get the money? Think about that, okay? You need to look outside the country and get news coming back in, and then you'll find out other things. Here's the 7. Do you know who these people are?
Yes, it's Microsoft.
That's very good. I love that. That is Microsoft. These are 11 originators of the Microsoft Windows technology. An operating system to allow humans to operate a computer easier. Okay? It didn't work right. It was clunky. It had problems. 7 of the 11 quit with vested interest in the company. They failed to recognize and had a lack of vision. Karatbars is an operating system whose time has come, a new era of economic understanding. That you can do, you don't need anybody else's permission, opinion, or criticism. This will allow businesses and you to operate in a new world as this system shows its true colors. The choice is yours. It's all about your perception. You have your choice. You can stick your head in the sand, or you can find some people that got the vision. What we say is this. This makes sense. Get in. Get started today. Don't try and line up all them ducks. You know, if you got it, that's like herding cats, man. Just forget about it, okay? Just getting started is half done. And understand, what was the premise? This thing isn't riding on who you are and what you think you can do. This thing is all about positioning, taking action now, and saving money. How do you save money? Make sure it's not made out of paper. All right, now, get in, get started, get committed for 12 weeks. In 12 weeks, you're going to be 12 weeks older. The difference is this. You can be 12 weeks and free. Okay, and I'm adamant about how I talk about that because it's real. There was one guy here, some of you are in his business, he was broke. He did it in 24 days. Broke, $3 on his debit card, but he had deep desire, willing, and he was showing this 1 hour after this relentlessly, 16 hours a day. He had A+++++ effort. And he set the company record. As soon as somebody sets a record like a 4-minute mile, you know it can be done. We're not telling you to do it in 24 days. We're trying to tell you you can do it in 12 weeks. Okay, now, here is the information for the webcast. Karatbarswebinar.com. Every day, 9 a.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Pacific. Every single day we do this. Karatbarswebinar.com. We have other conference lines tied in there, 1,400 people at a time listening to this. The word's getting out, folks. You want to play a 3-minute sizzle call for somebody? Hey, Dan, how do you explain this? Put that phone number, 218-844-3182. And it'll ask for an access code, 3010-8646. Put that on your phone and play it for somebody. What's your level of interest on a scale of 1 to 10? Hey, Jim. Stan, listen, you got a minute or you tied up? You do? Great. Hey, Jim, can I have 3 minutes of your undivided attention? What for? I want you to listen to something. Thank you. Beep, 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 beep. Play the message for him. Great message, Jim. What's your level of interest on a scale of 1 to 10? You're an 8? That, to me, means like you are very interested, but you need details and you need to answer some questions, correct? Great. Then, do you have the flexibility in your schedule to see a live webcast tomorrow? Would tomorrow at 9 a.m. be good, or 6 p.m. be better? Which one? 6 p.m.? Great. I'll tell you what. I'll call you at 5:45. We'll both get online, and we'll both watch this, and we'll see if we're looking along the same lines or not. Sound good to you? How much do you have to know? What the phone number was and how to do a 3-way call. You know what that is? That's a task. How many people wash dishes? You got dirty dishes. I got a saucepan. I put it in the soapy water and I scrub it. I take it out and then I rinse it in clean water and then I dry it. Then I grab the skillet and I put it in the soapy water and I scrub it and I put it in the clean water and I do it. It's a task. This set of tasks will help you make a ton of money if you do it right. And so remember, lots of things work, not everything duplicates. We want to thank you for your time and attention. We have a big event here coming in, the 26th and 27th, our first national event. Harold Seitz, the founder, CEO, and visionary, is coming to the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Hotel. That's the top 100 hotels in the world. 9 acres underneath this dome. There's still probably a few tickets left for those people who are adventurous. And as my wife said, when are you ever going to get to meet the founder, visionary, and CEO of a company like that? See where it's going. Brilliant. And we're going to recognize, this is a celebration of fun. Why? A ton of people have been doing the 12-week plan, man. We're making money. You know what I like best of all? There's a ton of brand new people making way more money than some of the people that got in before them. I like that. This thing ain't dependent on just who you are and what you think you can do. Get off your rusty dusty and go seize how much of that market you want. Thanks for your time and attention. It's been my pleasure. I hope I did a good job sharing this with you tonight.
Before we get into the Q&A, I just want to mention we have taped this presentation, and it's available for sale. Dennis can render it real quick after this, and it's available for sale for $10 a piece. I just wanted to mention just a small testimonial for myself. When I signed up, I just like you, I came to one of Dan's presentations. I was really impressed, and I joined as a VIP right away. And as Dan mentioned, each person's 12 weeks will look different. I'm going to bring Dan back up here for Q&A. If you guys have any questions, ask away. And also we have Andy in the back over there. Andy, please raise your hand. Andy is Andy is our Spanish expert in Karatbars. He does the Spanish presentations every Tuesday and Thursdays. Andy opened up the country of Mexico for Karatbars, and he also signed up a financial services company, and they have subsidiaries in different parts of the world, and they're transferring 50,000 pension plans into the gold. And one last thing before I hand this off to Dan. Somebody forwarded me some news, and this happened, I think, 2 days ago. China and the EU, the European Union, just signed a currency swap agreement. And what it is they're going to be bypassing the dollar, folks. They're bypassing the dollar. So something to really consider, okay? So I'm going to bring back Dan for a Q&A. I'm sure most of you have questions, and we're available. Also, I brought my laptop with me, so if anybody wants to sign up, I can help you guys, sign up, get a free account. Robin's computer is available also back there. Okay, and we'd like to thank you for coming. We sincerely do.
There's a break if anybody needs a break. Quick one? Yeah. Good job, Dan. I learned a lot. Good. So.
Hi, folks. Thanks for your attention. Yes. Thanks for your attention. We're going to do a quick Q&A with Dan. So any questions that you have, we'd like because it'll be the same question usually that other folks have that they're too shy or too afraid to ask. So I'm going to introduce Dan again, and this is the Q&A session. Thank you.
Okay, anybody have any questions from what they've seen? Go ahead.
A lot of questions I get asked is, how does this price compare with the other gold companies?
Very good question. He has the #1 question that people ask. Now the question is this: do you know where to take people? You want to sit there and answer it? Or you want to take people to where they're going to get the answer? Which will duplicate more? So be a traffic director. Don't be the know-it-all. Very good. You know who knows where to find that answer?
You.
No, because then all you do is you keep doing it over and over and over, right? So always do this. Validate the question. That's a great question, Tony. You know where we're going to find that answer? Let me show you. All right, let's see if I can get here. Okay, this is karatbarsintro.com. Okay?
Your money, what is it worth today?
This is an informational site. There it's got the 3-minute sizzle calls. This is free. You want to customize it? $10. They'll put your link right on it, customize it so you can use it. Okay? See this right here? Click here, complete details. See that? Click it once. You see what it says there? Pricing facts, grams versus ounces. Great question, Tony. Okay? Now, first thing they need to know is this. Apples for apples. And they should probably watch this 9-minute video right there that explains what the difference is between coins and currency grade gold. Lots kind of different gold. So when you compare, you got to compare apples to apples, not oranges to apples.
Right.
You got to look, what are asset class? Transaction friendly weights in a security card. 999.9% pure, LBMA stamp, and also on the good London Good Delivery list. They're surrounded in a certificate card of authenticity. So you got to compare apples to apples. Why? Here's one main point. It's one thing to own gold. It's another thing to take it out of a vault. You take it out of a vault, you got to prove it's real. Somebody can tell if this has been tampered with it. There's other security features in the cards. So you should watch that. Then, there you go. You want to compare it to Swiss gold or some other ones? Click it. Right? It takes you to the price per gram there. Now let's go back. Okay? They sell it for $7 more than you can buy it from us per gram. And you got to buy a minimum of 1,000 euros. Okay? Compare apples to apples. Let's go back. You have to understand who knows what spot price means?
It means the price of gold.
Troy ounce.
It means the price of the base metal. Doesn't include broker's fees, doesn't include production fees, doesn't include delivery fees, doesn't include storage fees. None of that. It's figured on an ounce price on a kilogram. Ounces of gold are not transaction friendly. Just not. What is it? Remember what the premise was? We are gold as money and inflation insurance in a developing system of exchange value for the future, where anything that could be bought in paper money could be bought in fractions of a gram of gold money. That right there, if you chime that through your head, all of a sudden one day you're going to go, wow, now I get it. Promise you. That right there, as soon as you hear the word spot, how much is the margin, all this stuff, it's commodity thinking. Buy it out of your own pocket. Identify it and show them that's a great question for gold as a speculative investment. It's not what we do. We're gold is money and inflation insurance. Let me show you how our asset classes compare. A gram of this kind of gold compared to any gram of gold, not in a card like this, is like an acre of land in Malibu versus an acre of land in Barstow. Still an acre of land. Has a different value. One sells more, has retained its value outside of the vault, we think. So down here, it even got a currency converter. And then considering all these facts. Okay, compare apples to apples. Here you got other bars besides that. And then understand more about our company. This is the greatest place to take somebody to see what we do. Okay? And guess what? When you do that, you just empowered them to know where to go to answer that question. They don't have to memorize it. How quicker will they react? Right? You got confidence. Knowledge is power. If you're going to do this, learn your website, learn what's on these pages. 10. I teach everybody. Walk through your back office. Take the brand new person you enrolled and walk them through it.
What is
20
the website again for this?
Karatbars Intro, INTRO.com. Okay?
Karatbars?
Intro.com. Yes.
Here's the thing, what you are expounding is a new paradigm of marketing, of acquiring capital. Let me
It
put
is
this
gold
way.
is money.
Absolutely. By doing this, are we implicitly destroying or
No.
disappearing the old system?
No.
The one is oppressing
That
us,
is an awesome, that right there is the second best question you can ask. We are non-competing. Our goal is not to be competing or to replace. Our goal is to be a symbiotic, alternative method of conducting business, non-competing with governments. We just are based in real metal. What is the main benefits of our system? One, it's an honest money system. There's nothing printed out of thin air, is there? There's no credit, which stimulates the economy like real money, but it isn't. There's no fractional lending, like when you give $1 to the bank, they can loan out 9 more, make 9 times the interest. And as they do that, they increase the digital money supply, which makes the value of your money in your account worth what? Less. There's nothing fiat. There's no credit and there's no fractional lending. There is only true demand for supply stimulated by real money, gold money. Do you understand that if this gram of gold buys a family of 4 a good meal at a restaurant today, it will buy a family of 4 a good meal at a restaurant 5 years from now? I'm not going to be able to say that about this.
Sir, I have another question.
Okay?
Continuing
We're
by
good for countries.
Expounding, but just one more question. If the 1971 split from the gold standard would have not have happened, still, this paradigm of marketing, would it be
Don't know.
good? We don't know, but it happened.
You know what?
The people who wanted it to happen made it happen that way so
Yeah.
that they could take the money to fiat.
Okay.
They want it to be worthless because then they're worth more. And we're worth
How many times did...
Dan, if I could say something.
Go ahead, go ahead.
What I remember, my age, I'm in my early 60s. I remember when the coins changed. I remember when a dime used to be all silver, and
1965.
quarters used to be all silver, and pennies used to be all copper. And then they changed it, and I don't remember how old I was, but I was going, what happened to the stuff inside the coins? Where'd it go? Who took it?
Right.
So you have to start thinking about the reality of the historical truth that's happened to our money in this country. And it's a sad situation, but we have a solution. Karatbars International
correct.
is a solution.
Here's one thing about paper money. I'm going to let you say it. Here's what people mistake because they lack perception. All these paper monies are printed out of thin air. They're not backed by anything anymore. Somebody says, well, you don't understand. The dollar's gaining against the euro.
Oh, yeah.
And the euro's gaining against the yen. You know what that's like? That's like all these paper monies jumped out of an airplane at 10,000 feet with no parachute. This one's gaining on that one. This one's gaining on this one, Bill. This one's gaining on that one, Henry. This one's gaining on that one, Susie. They all have the same destination. 100% of all fiat paper monies backed by nothing but a promise have the same destination. 100% failure rate.
So explain how the new BRICS Bank is going to compete against the World Bank.
It's not. They'll do it. They're already doing it. They're just not using the dollars anymore. They're trading between themselves, which means what has to happen to the exclusive world reserve currency
It's not.
until it isn't anymore. It is until it isn't anymore, right?
My question is on the debit card that you get.
Yes.
When you put it into the machine, it's returning you euros or
No, it's returning whatever currency you put the machine in.
Okay, but you have to pay a exchange
Of course you do.
And will
And
that show up on the?
yep, it'll show up on your statement. That is exactly right. That's online in your back office, 100%. And your bank will probably charge you like a $3 fee too. Okay? That's your independent flexible tool. So that in Europe, do they have to exchange into dollars? No. So it's a benefit to be in that area, correct? And guess what? As the world changes, and I'm sure it will, There'll be other remedies. Our company is still relatively young at 4 years.
So,
And we've been steadily and slowly increasing in our ability to move money better.
so if I understand you, when you get your receipt out of the machine,
Yes.
it will show the exchange rate?
No, it'll show dollars. It will show you the exchange rate is the currency exchange. It's like a 3.5. I think it's like it works out to be a 3.5% fee, which would be
The exchange rate?
yeah, exactly. Good.
The other question I get, a lot of people say, okay, you want me to pay $2,000, but you're only giving me 3 grams of gold. Okay, what's your answer to that?
Very good point. People have to understand. It's all about your perception. You go to work, you go in this structure, and because you see everybody else do it, you don't have any problem with somebody buying $2,000 worth of tools to go learn a trade, right? In some tools, you don't even use all that much. Okay? Consider this your tool fee in order to learn a new career that will pay you far better than the other ones, or this is your educational fee. The same person that has that didn't have any problem putting in $5, $10, $20, $50, $100,000 into their system, and guess what? They didn't make any money off of that. Matter of fact, they didn't get the degree and they didn't make any money. Nothing. You never get paid for what you know. You only get paid for what you do with what you know. Until you're too old, too tired, and too sick, or you're overqualified in order to do it. Right? See? It's all about perception. Go ahead.
So, I have a question on there. Maybe you could explain to people how the system, when you have 2 people, the 2 people you need to get, the advantage of coming in as one of those people, the way that their system is.
I love the system because it's a 2-team system. It doesn't matter where you come involved in that system. The thing that matters is if you hesitate to come into the system at all, you miss out on any leverage that occurred from anything that happened in the system above you or from the referrals above you, as they either have to go on one side or another. Meaning this, you find 2 people. You put one on your left team, one on your right team. What do you do with the third one?
Left or right?
Got to go left or right. Guess where it's got to go? It's got to go fall under somebody who was smart enough to get started now, whether they knew him or not. They didn't have to know him at all. But everything that person does, everything that person buys, is going to reflect back an intrinsic shared profit margin through the system, and that's why we can add anything into the system in the future. In the future, you just add a profit. Just add a profit margin from a manufacturer, service provider, or a K exchange, so that a business owner can sell both his products in fractions of a gram of gold as well as cash. He can have a whole new customer base.
What is the total number of people that are in the program at the end of 12 weeks that started under your umbrella?
This is the 11th week of the 12 weeks.
Okay.
The first 12.
Pardon me?
This is the 11th week of the first 12.
Okay. How many people do you have as of right now?
I can't. How many people do I have as right now?
Yeah.
You just told me the other day.
20. I think I have 21,000 on my right side and 3,300, 3,400 on my left side. Once it gets going, it starts to happen. And once you start getting a few people in, the first thing is you got to realize 12 weeks. Don't evaluate in between. You'll find 2, and guess what? You may need to find 2 more if they don't give you their A game. Are you going to let that hold you back? Because guess what? Don't try and hatch them. Don't try and force them. I run. Do you want to be in my team? You run with me. I ain't going back and to try and pull you like a rope. Go ahead.
I want to get back to Al's question about why you have to, why $2,000 and so forth.
Okay.
And you said it was a learning fee. Well, it also accelerates your ability to earn money.
That's correct.
So, can you comment on that?
Sure. Remember I said what a entrepreneur knows, return of capital? If you get involved as a silver package level, you need to find 8 people personally that buy a silver package level to get a return of capital just on your own. If you're gold, you need about 6. If you're VIP, 2,000, you find 4 people that do that, you got to return of capital. Okay?
What kind of a training program do you put the people through?
Me? First of all, I ask you, what do you want to get out of this? And I said, how much time do you feel that you need to do in order to get that? What are you willing to do? Okay? What are you willing to do? I want to know that, because if I'm going to help you with my time, I want to know that you're serious about it. And I'm going to show you one other thing right here. I want everybody on my team to do this. This is under Affiliate Video Library. You see this right here? Do you see that? I needed to know. Was I busy when I started this? Right? Me really busy. I didn't have time to waste time, and I'm chasing all over the place. If that's attractive to you, then guess what? You don't have to chase people either. This right here chart, I made this because this tells no lies. Somebody calls me for counsel, I'll give you counsel. I want to know 2 things. What'd you learn today? And what does your success chart look like? Here's the key. I know without a shadow of a doubt, because I've done this many times over, if you ask 100 people to take a look at this, only 80 people will actually listen to you. That means that 20 people didn't give you the time of day, right? Right? That's supposed to happen. But what the common mistake is? People think that it's them. I got to get better. I got to do it because I don't want to waste it. Blah blah. It's not it. It's a numbers game. The law of averages is only overcome by the law of numbers. Simple. If you can take and detach yourself emotionally from the process and understand it, use a duplicative format. If you ask 100 people, only 80 people listen to you, which means on that chart you're going to have somebody's initials that didn't listen to you, and you're going to put a big fat red X over it. You're supposed to have 20 X's on that chart of people that didn't listen to you, and you are successful. Okay? You are successful. Now, out of the 80 people that listen to you, hey, that's really great. I really want to get some information on this. Yeah, I'll get to that webcast. Yeah, I'll check it out. Guess what? Only 40 people will actually see the program. Why? Because the kids came back from school, my mother passed away, my car broke down, I just got laid off from my job. They're all valid things that happen, and we can't control that. Okay?
Thank you, Dan.
You bet. Thank you, Tom.
Bye-bye.
Take care, you guys. All right, so out of the 40, only 40 people see that, which means that out of 100, 60 people never even actually saw the program like you sat in this room. And you're successful. It's amazing, man. And out of the 40 that actually see this, 20 instantaneously, right then and there, they're enrolling. 20 instantaneously enroll. And 10 will buy a package. How many people do you need in the dual system to make it work? You just found 5 times more people than you need to make it work. And what happens to those other 8 people? They fall under other people who didn't hesitate to get started. Follow me? Okay? And out of the 20 that buy, 10 will buy a package, 6 are going to duplicate it, which means 4, we're kidding you. 6 people. So here it is. You want to help me get over this? You know what? I'm going to do some math here that I think this is important. The dual teams 12-week system pay you $233,000 a year in a perfect model of you be a bronze, everybody be a bronze, everybody acquire 1 week, and everybody find 2 people in week 1. Let's just say I can only believe less than half of what I hear. And you don't know me because I've never done anything like this, and I don't even think I can do half of that. Well, let's just say you can do 40% of it. 40% of $233,000 is $100,000 a year. Okay? You got 100 squares on that chart.
So you've been doing this.
Wait, let me finish this. That means this. You are not allowed to convince anybody to do this. You understand that chart is all about eliminating people. It is not about convincing them. That's the catch-22. This is about eliminating people. So that means the only person you got to hire is you. If you were going to go get a job for $100,000 a year, you're applying for a job, $100,000 a year. You're sitting in front of the person that interviewing you. What are you going to tell them? I'm going to show up on time. You'll never have to look over my shoulder. I'm going to represent your company the way you want it represented. I'm going to make you money. Right? Isn't that what you tell them? You going to tell them anything else than that? Okay? The only person you got to convince is the person in the mirror. You interview you. So here's the deal. For $100,000 a year, you're going to ask 3 people a day, I don't care if you know them, don't know them, casually know them, whatever, to take a look. Hey, I just ran across the best business plan I've ever seen to create $4,500 a week in passive income, as well as set up a system to acquire far more gold than you'll ever buy out of your own pocket. You know anybody you might want to look at that? Anybody? In the times we live in today, well, I don't know. Well, then you must already be making $4,500 a week. I don't know if you can do it. What do you think the best way to find out what's around the other corner? Go around the other corner. Take a peek. Okay? Guess what? So here's the deal. You're going to pay you $1,000 for every square on that chart. You're going to pay you're going to pay yourself $3,000 a day to ask 3 people to take a look at this. Right, wrong, whatever. Okay? To find this, that means the total, that means you're going to pay yourself $94,000 to find the 6 that'll set you free. The only thing you got to remember what I said, the toughest thing to reprogram is this, because when you go out there, everything is based in this structure. So like I said, it's a totally logical question when somebody asks you how much you make. And by the way, do never give any income claims in this. Never. Because that puts us in a whole nother regulations. Remember, here's this. This is a line. You need to understand where we fall. This is a line. Below it, all the federal, state, and local jurisdictional law and all the 3-letter agencies. Above the line is where the countries deal with each other. Country of the United States deal with the country of Canada, deal with the country of Philippines, deal with the country of Portugal. They deal in what? Currency grade gold. They operate under a very specific set of laws, the international bullion laws set forth by the World Trade Organization under the harmonious tax codes, which is why we only deal in currency grade gold. It's the only thing all governments use for settlement of debt. When you grab a hold of that, and guess where you're going to find that information? Somebody raise your hand. Pricing facts.
Pricing facts?
Yes, that we pointed out to you. Read that. Okay? Never give tax and financial advice. Unless you have a license.
Pricing tax.
Pricing facts.
Oh, pricing facts.
On Karatbars intro. Okay. Any other questions?
The training would be that he has to look at his website.
Training, number 1, you should go to karatbarsintro.com and read through some of that stuff. Go in your back office, and at the top of every single tab is a short little video. Watch it. Okay? The things that you need to know how to do are how do you get money to court? How do you get money from court? How do you communicate with court? How do you make an order? How do you take delivery? Okay? And then know who your senior partners are. These are people who walk through this. They've seen the landmines. They're not your boss. She knows I'm an open door. I will help anybody, but I'm not stepping back for somebody. If you really want it, I will help you, but I want to know that you are serious about what you're doing. And we'll help.
So certain packages, you have to get certain amount of people for each package?
No, here's the way the 12-week plan works. Enroll, get a package, don't care which one, just get one. 3, upload a couple of documents to prove who you are to your account so nobody else can impersonate you. Number 4 is that you're going to acquire 1 gram per week for 12 weeks. And then, what are you going to do? You're going to find 2 people that will repeat exactly what you just did. And find 2 people.
No matter what package you buy into?
Doesn't matter. You can upgrade at any time. You just make more money.
What do the 2 make interest by these people doing By these people doing what you're doing.
Yep.
The only way you make income.
Yep. Or direct people to the webcast. You know, not everybody, let me put it this way. You want to accelerate your earnings and make it quicker? Start showing the business.
Yeah, but that means counting on people all the time, like all the multi-level marketing.
You know what?
Counting on people.
Well, do you count, businesses count on people all the time. They don't have a problem with that.
They're used to getting paid and going out and spending money.
Uh-huh, and then what do they got?
Nothing, but still, you gotta count on people.
Well, you know what? See, let me ask you a question. Are people reliable, yes or no?
No.
Depends on which people you talk about, right?
Yeah.
You need to find, out of this whole world, you need two people. You need to find two people that are immovable objects. For instance,
80%ers.
yeah, you're looking for the 20% that do 80% of the work.
Right.
Okay?
And then they gotta get two people.
You know what?
That are
How many people, you heard this, right, you write this. You have two ways to look at this, the reason I put it up. You can choose not to do anything, and you probably will kind of get by. Or, you can decide that you will adjust some of the ways we think, and understand in this day and age, there are people that will excel, have more people to talk to than you ever will. I mean, this business was built. You could even be a lazy person as long as you immediately find two people that aren't lazy.
Well, how can you be lazy? You gotta do your share.
I do. She knows I work in 7 time zones.
So you can't be lazy.
Well, guess what? Somebody found me. Somebody found them. There's people that never knew me. I didn't start at the top. I started 2 years after they started this. 2 years for people telling some people. They didn't know me.
So how many years have you been doing it?
This right here is primarily our 3rd year. Okay?
But the 12-week plan started in July.
Yeah, the 12-week plan only started this July.
It changed.
See, getting the message right that engages people, we were trying to sell them gold. Doesn't work. They don't work. You know why? Because they're programmed for this. And every time they turn on TV, it's this. And every time they go to pay their bills, it's this. And every time they go to work and they get paid in this. So we show them how to make $4,500 a week of passive income, kind you can retire on. We have a whole group that's 86 years old. Whole group. Total group. And man, they are sharp like this. And they see what's coming down the pipe. And believe me, they know tons of people in that age group. And they are motivated. They've seen all kinds of stuff out there. Some of them have lived through changes in the money.
So you can get your people any week of the program.
Yeah. Go find 2.
It's just whenever you. And what do those 2 get you?
What do those 2 get? What do they get you? By the time
You get those 2 people. Why do you get those 2 people?
Because you need to build 2 teams.
And
Do your part.
Okay, and when do you get any residual?
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Because, and the thing is that you want to get your account done, and you want to get signed up and your documents in there before you go and pitch this. Like, I mean, I know 2 real high-powered people. I mean, if I'm an 80%er, they're an 80%er plus. And I mean, if I told them about this before I got all set up, you know, that I could have them sign under me, and I wouldn't have to do a thing because they'd be just going to probably.
You know what the death dagger is? Is when somebody else talks to them before you get around to lining it all up to talk to them, which is really a shame. Frank and Rosie. Typical example. Well, we're gonna talk to them right away. Month, 2 months, 3 months. 4 months. And guess what? We called him. I just got in last week. Death dagger. Hurts. Go ahead.
What if you buy into the program and you just give your $65 for 12 weeks and you don't have any people underneath it?
Well, number one, are you going to go out and find 2 people?
Well, let's say I don't find 2 people. What happens then?
Okay, more than likely, there's going to be other people that will come in above you that will have to fall underneath you. Not necessarily, but go find 2 people. Go get started with 2 people.
If somebody above me, and I don't have 2 people, they're gonna put one of those people under me?
They fall either under the left or the right team. There's only 2 ways it can go, either the left or the right.
So in other words, the more people they get, it just goes down to the down line. Is that what you said?
It's a 2-team system that isn't dependent on all you. Let me see if I can show this here. Right there. When people enroll, when you enroll people, you're actually enrolling them in 2 different compensation plans. And don't ask me to go into that right now, because that's not what this is about. 2 teams. People enroll, and then people are simultaneously placed in the dual system. Whether you placed them in there, the person that brought you in had a 3rd person that fell in underneath there, or the person that brought them in or brought them in had a 4th, 5th, or 6th person that brought them in. We found 228. Ain't hard, you just got to ask. Did I do it all at once? No. But the first month, first week, I asked 100 people. You know how hard it was to get 100 people on the phone in a week? 100 different people, man.
So how many did you get out of that?
50. 1 out of 2 wanted to do it.
You were lucky. Did they stay?
Luck is surrounded by overalls and sweat.
Did they stay in the program?
Some did, some didn't, and some that did, man, they just took off.
So what percent are the ones that stayed?
All the ones that applied themselves.
What is the percent?
Well, all the ones that applied themselves.
That's not giving me the percent.
I can't give you percent because you know what? I don't know who they are. These are private and secure accounts. I don't have their information.
Oh, you don't know who they are?
No, I don't.
Well, who keeps track of the downline like that?
The company keeps track of them, and you should know the people that you brought in. You should know them. And the people that brought those people in should know them. And some people just want to be customers. Hey, do I have to do this 12-week program? No. Can I just use the account? I want to put 100 grams a week from paper money into gold money, and I don't even want it in my country. I want it vaulted for free offshore, where they can't get at it without due process.
In other words, they can just buy the gold and get the gold
Yep.
cards?
You can store them. Yep, we have people that buy piles of gold, man. They take paper money and they put it, change it into gold money, put it in gold, and put it in their gold vault. They don't want it here.
So they have gold bars in it.
You want to know some number one thing, I don't know if the health care plan is going to work. Don't know. Really don't. The website was supposed to be $93 million to build it. It was $634 million to build it.
What website are you talking about now?
The health care program. Okay, now, on top of that, I don't know if it's going to work. One thing I do know, that legislation gave permission for the government to go in your bank account without due process and do whatever they want to do.
They can take money out of our bank
Yep.
account? Who's going to pay for all this Medicare?
You are.
When you fill out
Aren't you happy?
your IRS, you're going to have to you're going to have to
Yep.
get bank account information.
When I fill out my IRS?
Yeah, when you file your IRS, your taxes at the end of the year,
Yeah.
you're going to have to give them your bank account information.
And then
That is a provision, that's one of the provisions of the law.
And so they're going to take out as much money as they want from our bank
No,
account?
I'm not saying that they're going to take it out. I'm saying that you have to give them that information.
What for?
Go read Obamacare.
Well, I don't
And
remember
before-
whether I do this.
All right, we done?
Hold on.
Okay, what else?
I understand that you can upgrade
Yes.
to a different package at any time
Yep.
whatsoever.
Yep. You get to choose how much money you pay you.
And you can sell the program, not this, but you just sell the you said that they were just selling the cards.
I don't sell any cards.
And you
I
said
don't
that
sell. I
people
don't
were
sell gold.
Putting 100.
I do not sell gold. I show people how to open up their own Karatbar account. Karatbar sells the gold. I don't touch it. They buy the same price I buy it for. I don't get any other discount except for what you get in your kit, in your packages. You get some of these. You get, this is a 3% discount card. You add this onto your website, and for a year, anytime you order gold, you get a 3% preferred price on it.
So when you upgrade, you get that package that, you know,
Yep.
whatever, okay.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
What happens between like the week you sign up to the trophy and the price of gold?
Well, guess what? You make more money on the gold that was sold.
But do we still pay the $65?
No, you'll pay the going rate for gold, okay? Whether it goes up or goes down, guess what? The price might go up or down based on what? The buying power of the paper money, correct? You know what doesn't go down? The buying power of the gold never changes. What it will buy now would buy the same 2,000 years before and in the future. But there will be,
Wrap it up here.
there will be a big reset in the paper money.
Yep,
Count on it.
it's coming.
And what about the company getting all the money, the paper money?
The paper money exchanges right into gold and builds infrastructure for it until we are totally a gold-based company. This is the future. Is a natural progression and migration into a complete gold global payment system. And we're the only ones doing it. And we operate under a set of laws that allow us to operate in any country. Same laws allow the countries to do between each other. Good question. Anybody else?
Dan, he's the man.
I'm the Karatbars poster child for the common sense knucklehead. Hey, we got Christmas coming up, man. We got Christmas cards.